This program is brought to you by the following non-paid sponsors: the League of Extraordinary Beings, the Society of Poor Knights of the Multiverse, Battle School, the deployed from Detroit School of Leadership and Madness, the Society of the Pale Horse, the Curiodrome, and of course, viewers like you.
Hello. Let's see. Is the sound working? It's my sound check. Hi, y'all. I'm Jenny Durden. It is Sunday at 11 p.m. local, Detroit time, whatever. I'm a little stoned. I don't have a big schedule for today. The last few weeks, hang on. I love this. It looks adorable, but it's going to distract me. Boop. Hi. So for the first stretch of this, we talked about leadership. Rather purposefully, going through the Army Field Manual 22-100. Sorry, I'll stop creaking. And the purpose of that was just to give vocabulary, lessons in language, how things sound, how people talk when they're talking about those things. A lot of times they get portrayed in movies and film. Well, movies are film, I guess. But TV, videos, comic books, etc., etc., etc. If you want to watch someone's face get weird, have a veteran sit with you with a movie that has military shit in it. Because half the time we're just like, what the fuck is this? Hang on. My, standby to standby, the autofocus is being annoying as shit. And I'm going to come fix that for you real quick. Give me 2 seconds. What'd I tell you? 2 seconds. There was one episode that happened to be on Easter, and I talked a little bit about the Bible, kinda. Mostly talking again about language. How we describe things, how we discuss things, how we talk about things. So with all this time left, I think the point has been made clear without me saying it expressly, but I will say it expressly. The best killers, the most effective killers, do so out of love. They have love as their driving factor in their... So, this is why a lot of our leadership material sounds a little fluffy to some civilian types who in their imagination think everything's Hamburger Hill and Full Metal Jacket. It ain't. These are real people. We're asking them to do real hard shit. You better be there for them. Early on in my instructing career, I would hear people quote Machiavelli. And I would assume they had done their due diligence, they were quoting it correctly and in context and all that. Said that to say this. The thing that always got quoted was this idea that it's better to be feared than loved. Well, if you go back to that book, that's not what that is. That's not what that's suggesting. That book was written for a child to survive innumerable assassination attempts. So, in that kid's particular circumstance, sure. But for you, fuckhead at Burger King, no. No, baby. For you, fuckhead anywhere, no. To be feared is not to be trusted. To be feared is to be utterly misunderstood. If I fear a thing, there's a certain lack of knowledge indicated by that. For me to stay afraid of a thing, I have to not know about them. I have to give them that advantage. So that's dumb. I think where it gets tricky for people, one, there's the shit they see out there of, well, this is how it ought to be, and that's how, blah, 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 blah. But then they get out there, they try the pants on, and they don't feel right. And they're like, but I've done this, I'm yelling at people, I'm negging, or I don't know, I think that's more of, people talk about crazy shit. All to avoid exposing who they are inside. Because this is why you're likely avoiding love as a tool in your leadership. Because you don't think you should be loved. Tough shit. I love you. You don't get to change that. That's not your call. You are loved. Next. Love these people. People around you. People who've come to your side, come to your aid. Or maybe it's just a work situation. These poor motherfuckers got slapped here, same as you. This is what it is. We are where we are. Love them for that. The reason I was so bold as to say why love makes the best killers is in this same line. If you don't want to pull the trigger, you're going to be very methodical about when you do. If you don't give a shit, you won't give a shit. And we could be cold and calculating and say, oh, well, that's just a waste of ammunition. Sure, it's a waste of fuel, waste of time. It's a waste of life. As the title says, my jaw still hurts. That's what this thing is. It's some goofy fucking massage business, hypothetically. Hopefully it's not supposed to go anywhere. It's fine. Nothing's broken. It's just that hella sore phase. I know. Did I tell you guys about the DID, dissociative identity disorder? It's pretty lame. Uh, Usually kicks in when you're a kid, about 4 to 6 time frame, anywhere when you're starting to get into the capability to develop individuation. Uh, and then when that gets interrupted with a trauma, uh, you kind of stop living one life. You have, I did in my own situation, sort of conditional save files. And so whatever the situation was, I'd load up that file, be that person, and that was that. It's an adaptive thing. But it causes me to black out from time to time. Sometimes for moments, sometimes for days, sometimes for weeks. I'm like, oh shit, we got a job? Cool. Um, but that's how my jaw got the way it is. I remember going upstairs, and then a couple days later, I was in the backyard. And I know a bunch of other stuff happened in between. And I'm pretty sure I have memories of, or catalogs of experiences. Hmm. But even then, in those situations, I find that it's still love that's gonna get you through. Like, okay, some shit goes down, ruckus occurs. What's the. What, just fight again? Get all pissy? Hey, fuck you, you suck. Yeah. None of us are stupid, we all saw that. I suck, you suck, we suck. Moving on. I feel bad. I'm very ranty today. I'm 15 minutes in and I feel like I've done nothing but waste your time. Trying to itch at a scratch that you don't have. That I have. I think I've said it in this past. This is kind of meant to be a bad podcast for a bit of a reason. A little bit of a gear check, a little bit of an idea floating thing. I'm sure a better version of anything, like if I just stole like Bert Kreischer's idea, not the drinking and being racist. I did that already. But if I did the cooking and like talking to people thing, that could be pretty killer. Like if I intended to do anything with all this, like realistically, some of this, like why I wrote my books, uh, why I do shit like this. It's not that I don't want it to be for nothing for me. Or like, oh, I put in all this work and all this da 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 da. Sure. There's an element of that. That's like, oh, what the fuck? But there's some shit that is so stupid, it hurts to watch it be repeated. There's a number of experiences in my life that I would hoped would have ended with me. And they didn't. Not even kinda. Just so that maybe there was some value in it. Instead of it being some fucking locust plague of greasy fingers. I blacked out again. DID. Want to hear how I got it? What a car accident, or a hunting incident, or being lost on a battlefield or nothing like that. I had a babysitter talk me into going down on her for a while. Not like just that day, but I mean repeatedly, over and over again. And they were wise. They bought my silence with French toast sticks. I still love French toast sticks. I have such a bizarre. I feel weird making French toast for the kids. I haven't. I don't tell them. I don't. I'm not like, hey, you know what happened? No. Fuck no. Fuck no. But it is weird. And yeah, you just I shouldn't say you know, use my me statements, my I statements. I just zoned out because what the fuck else are you gonna do? Just get through it, champ. There's a lot of folks, they'll do that and not necessarily develop a full on sort of set of behaviors that you could call a personality. And there's all kinds of language. There's a whole bunch of people who are like way into it. And they're like, this is cool. It's sort of like an identity thing for them, which is funny. If you think about the irony there, that their identity is in having more than one. I've been very focused on not doing that. Not so focused that it's my whole fucking concentration, but for a minute it was. Like, once I kind of had that Fight Club moment of like, oh shit. Or rutro, that explains my credit card statements. And enlisting in the Marine Corps and the Air Force. The Air Force one stuck. Oh, babies. Funny thing is, most of my personalities and most of my quirks uh, didn't get in the way of anything. I wonder how many people have to be gentle with our language, we can say if you got tagged rather significantly around the age of 5, kindergarten age, with some kind of significant, like, brush with death, uh, sexual trauma, just something you struck by lightning, who the fuck knows? But something about that time frame really kind of sets it in for folks. And there's such a gradient to things. I think a lot of people assume, it's got to be like the movies do such a fucking disservice to mental health and military, most things, really. I don't know what the movies do, like, There's some. Fury's a good one. We can talk about that later. But yeah, I do wonder how many people aren't there. You know, if you have a friend who's like, I just blacked out, then I don't know, that might be something. Uh, and we just kind of are like, man, it's weird, and like move on. But like reporting from inside the house, it is torture to not participate in my own life, but to okay. So clearly I am. Clearly it's me. You shoot a gun, me dies. I don't separate into like different critters. That ain't gonna happen. So there is some sort of singularity going on, or not singularity, but singular process going on. Sorry, I blinked again. That's what I call it. Because blacking out implies, like, a lot of people think when you black out in these or you dissociate, that there's going to be some kind of like beep, a real, like a clear signal to people. And there may be, but like my friends only notice it when I get in these moments and I'm like, what the hell am I saying? Where am I? What is this? In a lot of cases, it'll just look like I've switched topics. And then, like, I have a different accent a little bit or something. Yeah. It's fucking weird, man. I am lucky, though, that all of the, like, weirdly, all of my personalities were in the Air Force, I guess. Like, it was a 24-hour job. I couldn't have not been, right? Like, maybe? I don't know. I'm sure there's elements of me that didn't quite make it to formation, but it was a 24/7 job for quite some time. And even then, none of those critters did, like, yeah, some laws got broken, some rules got broken, some bones got broken, some glass got broken, etc., etc. I had fun in my 20s. Ugh. But it wasn't any Joker shit. It wasn't like, oh, no, skinning puppies and. There wasn't anything in there that wasn't already in there. There was no direction for any of them other than the direction I'm headed in. And each of them was just meant to cope with that. Which I think, this is. Maybe I can make this connection. Where I see the most profound cases of PTSD, specifically in people with military service, it's usually the Boy Scouts, the Captain America types, the Steve Rogers, before the shot. The ones who want to be there for the right reason usually have 2-3 things going against them. Some, flat feet, asthma, allergies, something where you're like, they're not gonna, like, where in their backstory, you can have somebody be like, they're not gonna make it, and then they fucking make it. Those folks, and I was one of them, they get fucked up the most because they buy it the most. That, here we are to do these things. These are our core values, and these are our missions, and these are our. And then when you get to where the rubber meets the road, it, for our generation, was littered with dead and fucked children. it was very clear to anybody with a week's fucking worth of schedule that we weren't at a minimum the good guys. And that's hard for good kids. You either break there or you change there, but even in the changing, you break. And a thing in you dies to make room for this new fucking thing. The thing that can survive whatever this is. And I think even at their core, those things, again, you're only accentuating what exists. You're only building on what exists. And in the core, not just the core, but in the core of that person, is that knowledge that goodness is the seat of things. That taking care of people is your purpose. It's the point of people. Sure, people went ahead and wrote this shit down at some point and felt you need to remember it, but you know it already. Deep down inside of you, you are your brother's keeper. You are your sister's keeper. There is none but you. There is none but all of us. Who the fuck else is coming? Angels? When's the last time you saw that? Show me a photograph. I know, right? I believe in angels in a weird way. But I definitely don't think there's going to be some fucking winged feller coming down to do anything. It is us. That is on us. If we want action to be done in this world, it is for us to do. If we want to see the world change, it's for us to change it. And I think you can build a force for that. I know you can build a force for that because I've done it time and time again. Poorly motivated, properly motivated, poorly educated, properly educated, poorly informed, let's hope properly informed this time. But this is well past doable. I don't know what you would call something like that. Like, fucking crazy we don't do this more? I understand, though. It's part of the sales pitch. I was thinking about that the other day. The idea of yards in the suburbs have always pissed me off as a kid who had to mow it. And, like, is that the point of it? Because, like, most folks don't hang out in their backyard. And then they make fun of people who do, which is delightful. This is me coming from the suburbs of southeast Michigan chatting. They're not in their backyard, except for, like, every now and again. I use my backyard all the time. I love it. But it's just me back there, gang. Maybe that's why. I'll put my top back on. See what happens. But there's like ceremonial fucking pasture you have to prove that you're some kind of a landlord. I'm the lord of this quarter acre. Is that what is a suburban plot? It can't even be that, right? It's enough to put 1,100 square feet of fucking sticks on. And be like, this is my house. These are my rules. Bitch. And then in all these separations and all these ceremonial plots of land, these fucking grazing pastures for all these kings, there are the shut doors, and there goes it all. You know, most violent people get all fussy, and I moved down to Detroit proper. I'm south of 8 Mile, south of 7. Do we have a 6? Is McNichol 6? White girl. Whoop. But man, people are suburban folks. I'll tell you what. Keep whatever y'all gotta do to keep the story up. Keep it going, because it makes it easier. Because I'll tell people my address, and they're like, "Fine." I'm not coming. Okay. But 77% of all violence happens in the home, like from someone you know. That means 30% is strangers. And then you got to start thinking about, okay, what is leading up to those scenarios? This, that, and the other thing, blah, 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 blah. It's probably not going to be you at Wendy's. Now, up on the west side, not at Wendy's. I hate when, okay, this is me being a Detroiter. I hate when there's a shooting at a good Coney. Because I'm like, God damn it, dude. I was going to order there. Their fries are so good. And the drive thru is going to be fucking closed. But they usually open back up. It's not that frequent, but it's, uh, well, enough that I get to say it like that. Like, shit. I was going to get cheese sticks. Yeah, that shit down here, like, nowhere near as prevalent. It's not fucking RoboCop. It's not none of that. There's despair and there is desperation. And in desperation there is low budget scheming. And low budget scheming is creative uh and catastrophic when it goes wrong. Because it's a lot of risk, very little capability to like manage or mitigate risk. It's fucking crazy. It's cowboy shit. I had my car stolen. Uh, like it was the first summer I was here, and it wasn't me per se, but somebody left the keys in the car with it running. We had it. I don't know why it was being warmed up in the summertime, but there was some shit going on. We were playing hot potato with the car, and we were trying to actually get out the door to go pick somebody up. And then who knows? It got left outside on, and then a couple of teenagers jacked it. And immediately drove it into a fence. Like they weren't gonna sell it. It was a, which is so fun. They could have gotten okay money for it. Like had they gone that route and tried to sell it, but they were like, "Fuck this! I'm Johnny Knoxville, and this is Detroit," and they just joyrode it for a bit and fucked it off. I kind of like it was a relief. Okay, because if they steal it and it gets chop shop, then it's like fucking great. Now I'm in someone's grazing pasture, basically. But this is just asshole kids being asshole kids. I can handle that. That's easy. I can. I think I said it twice that day. I'm like, they're lucky they stole it from me, because I'm fairly chill about this shit. I am a big proponent of mischief. Uh. Even when it is at my own peril. I like it though. It's mischief is how you give the law stretch marks. You gotta get up in its guts. And like, you sure you mean this shit? Y'all said. We'll see. It's the teasing of the boundaries. It's important for the youth to have mischievous leanings. Especially, like in a society we have, pick a country, wherever you are, I'm sure you're not nailing it either. We've kind of done something where all of our, like, lead-brained fucking grandparents have led us into this, like, near-death trap. It's gonna take insane amounts of effort for us to unfuck the planet. Uh, And the kids are ready to do it. We're just all waiting for grandma to die. It's the fucking like, holy shit, man. We're just waiting for a generation of morons to die. And then all their little twink boyfriends. Oh my god. JD Vance, he's one of them. Hexeth, he's one of them. Johnson, he's one of them. Not to get all fucking. Who is that? I should know this lady's name. She's an important lady. I should have covered her back in the other slides. The lady was like, "How you doing?" I can't remember. Anyway, ranting about DID, weed, love. It's hard to get over the hump of having to like a thing to love it. I think a lot of folks assume that that part's necessary. Uh, but love comes from knowing and understanding and empathizing. It doesn't require that you enjoy the things you're empathizing with, or, you don't have to. You don't have to like anybody to love them. It helps, I guess. Makes things easier or whatever. And gradually, too, if you love people, you'll learn to like them. I always suggest going that route with people. Folks who struggle with people. I did too. Fuck people. I hate you. You suck. People suck. That whole thing. If you've had depression, you've done it too. And then hang on. I'm a little too far from the mic. If you've had depression, you've done it too, where you've just let your negativity kind of take hold, and you've had a lot of poor examples or good examples of shitty people where you're like, see, proof. Now, I know, but lead with love and curiosity and the things you started with before all this, before someone told you. Yeah, I had this thought. I wonder if, I mean, I've already said this, but if no one ever told me, I would have never guessed ghosts. Like, I've never been in a scenario where I'm like, that's clearly a dead human being's incorporeal spirit. Never, fucking ever, have I thought that. But then people are like, well, I got chili, and so they can really only be one thing. No, no. So go back before ghosts. Go back to when you weren't afraid of the dark. When you could sit with your eyes closed. And then what would you wait for? For mom and dad and brother and sister? Food, blankie, bottle? You would reach for warmth. You would reach for comfort. You would reach for love. And those got you here. Like I said, there's a reason for this. There's a reason we teach in the military. There's a reason it's the first and only thing you really know. Is that you are here to love and be loved and see what the fuck comes out of that. And then everything else on top of that becomes localized adaptation. How do we loving things love one another here? With the things we have, with the weather we've got, the roads, and the now we got internet and phone and radio, and how do we loving things love amidst all this? How do we loving things love when it looks like so many things aren't being loved? When we can even be convinced that maybe they can't love. They can. And this isn't the call to some kind of hippie fucking cult nonsense. Don't go free love, man. I mean, love pure, genuine before the body, before the mind, before the thing that is pulled off of some distant shelf somewhere and inserted into you as part of your construction. You get love, the ability to see, smell, taste, hear, touch. This is first principles kind of shit. It's how cavemen became Romans and Romans became dipshits like us. And it only goes sideways, it only fucks itself over when individuals fail to develop at a level where it becomes this ego fest, this me, 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 me. Look what I got, look what I need, da na 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 na. These kinks develop in the system. It, it, it comes from simple bullshit. Somebody thinks they need a little bit more, and then it just gets out of control. I mean, it's out of control the way it is now just because we printed all the fucking money we did. Someone asked about that. What should we do about this trillionaire? Stop using money. Then he's broke. Pretty fucking easy. Well, what would I? Hey, how do I? Just CYA, CMA. Cover your ass, cover my ass. We'll be okay. I don't know, gang. Have I said anything useful? I'll watch this back later. We'll see. I don't want this to be the best podcast ever. I barely want it to be a good one. But I definitely don't want it to be bad. I don't want it to be something where you're like if you are sitting and, I would like you to enjoy it. But this is just kind of you and I hanging out. And I don't mind, like, this is a little bit low risk. Thinking out some of these thoughts here, despite it being, on the internet or whatever. At this point, it doesn't matter. But there's some shit I just rather say a few times before it's needed, before it becomes important. And a lot of shit I say does not. become important. It just sort of is what it is. Packing peanuts for the thing in there that is. What I will tell you is that if you have, I said you need love, you need all this. We talked in the past, purpose, motivation, direction. That's how you provide leadership, etc., etc. If you want the equation to succeed on all this stuff, it's actually very, very simple. Love and never give up. If you do those two things, if those are the two cornerstones of how you conduct whatever your mission is, you do it with love and you never give up. It's going to be good. And not just good as in it works well, but good as in a source of goodness. And if you find it hard to love, I get that. It can be very easy to wound one's heart. And it is not even kind of easy to repair it. And you could have had your heart broken in a lot of ways that make the idea of re-engaging with humanity in such a way terrifying. No, if I love people, that means I'll lose them. If I love people, that means I'll have people I can disappoint. Yeah. But if you love people, you'll also have everything else. Everything else. You'll never not have the things you need because the people you love will make sure you've got it. If you live through love as a force, if you live through life as a force of love, force for love, and you don't quit, you stick to it till you drop, then you get back up, pound a Gatorade, whatever, and get the fuck back out there. You don't think I'm serious? I talk a number of talks, and I will walk each and every one of those motherfuckers. You can too. You definitely can. If you're one of those sweeties who's like, oh, I don't know if I got it in me. You do. I did. Are you shitting me? You should have seen me as a kid. It's a surprise anybody was surprised I was gay. And like, come on now. Yet there I was, Jolly Green Giant, in the kitchen, and the morgue, and the marketing. And I had a complicated, weird job in the Air Force. But I was in the Air Force. I wasn't no Jolly Green fucking Giant. I was just big. And then they changed our uniform from green to like a dumb blue. We did this Air Force Tiger Stripe thing, which was so stupid. The pattern was dumb as fuck. And everyone knew it. Like, everyone was in the process, was like, this is a bad idea. And we all went for it. Because the Marines got a cool uniform. And then I think they wouldn't let the Army wear it or something. And then so the Army was like, well, we're going to get our own. And then the Air Force wanted theirs. And the Navy had one. The Navy one was hilarious because it was camouflaged with the fucking water. So, like, if you were on deck, you'd stand out like a sore thumb. But if you went overboard, we'd never find you again. Guys. Make their outfits the same color as the boat. Okay, I fixed it. Holy shit. Yeah. Those were decisions not made with love. Those were decisions made with ego. People trying to get awards and medals because they were about to retire. There was a whole batch of motherfuckers. People with like 2 and 3 stars, generals who were on their way out. They were never going to get a 4th star, so they're trying to make a name for themselves. And then millions of taxpayer dollars just thrown down the shitter in the midst of a war. We could have spent that on anything. Yeah. That was all like Katrina was going on during then too. Like there was some serious shit we could have probably used the money on. And then these fruits at fucking Pentagon were like, the pockets could be wider though. Like, fuck off, General. Jesus Christ. We got 2-3 wars going on, and you're over here putting out carpet samples like we're getting fucking married. Air Force, huh? Yeah. Those of us who loved it did really well. And those who hated themselves used the ones who loved it. The ones who hated other people used the ones who loved. That's why we need more tough lovers. So you can protect your little brothers and sisters out there. These people, the ones all around you, they have the answer programmed into them. How to unfuck all this. It's deep down. And it's something they can articulate so absolutely clearly just before they learn how to talk. And then we flood their little mouths and brains with bullshit. So, love first. Love always. It is hard sometimes. Especially when you've been trained not to. When you've been trained not to value love. When you've been trained to think of love as some kind of fucking weakness. Love is knowledge. Love is wisdom. Love is expertise. If I love you, I know what you're about. I know what you need. I know what you don't have. I can anticipate. I can be there. With a helping hand. Or a sword. Yep. Please let it be my hand. I am sick of swords. My jaw still hurts. Well, gang, if you got any questions for me, please forward them to my chief of staff. Not because I'm being fancy, but because I'm dyslexic. We have AI and all that shit at our disposal, but I'd rather maintain human touch where I can. So, get a hold of the hand at legioextra.com. LEGIOEXTRA. Yeah. Talk to the hand. Till then. Like I said, I love you. Nothing you can do about it. Ha 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 ha.